Hey folks, I'm going to tell you here how to change the alternator and also the serpentine belt on a 2016 Hyundai Azera. I couldn't find any videos online for this. I've already done the job, but I'm going to run through the steps real quick and give you the main information you need to know. Basically what we did was pop this cover off. You just lift up on it, it comes off. I went ahead, undid these bolts here for the wiring harness. Now some people were trying to say you should remove the fans. Some people were saying to reduce this, remove this bolt here so you can push the AC lines over. I found it much easier to just go underneath and remove the 4 bolts holding the air conditioner compressor. Once I got the serpentine belt off, you remove the 4 bolts. There's some rubber lines that connect that stay on the compressor. The compressor hangs down enough that the alternator comes out super easy. Gives you great access to everything underneath. Now, I have a 4-post lift, so one of my tricks, because I wanted access to this part of the car and here, I didn't want anything restricting me. So I put boards in front of the lift and drive the car off the lift. And then I support it under the frame right here, lift the whole thing in the air. So now we're looking underneath the car. The first thing you're going to want to do is remove this splash panel here. It's just a handful of bolts right there, and this panel just slides out and drops down. And then you're going to want to remove this cover here. Got some bolts along here. There's a couple that are hidden that you can get to once you remove this front splash guard. There's one back here. You don't need to remove the front wheel at all. All your access is really good from here. Again, really super easy. If I was just going to change the serpentine belt, I would still go ahead and pull these off rather than trying to fight with it from on top. Much easier. You can see everything here. There's a spring-loaded tensioner on the serpentine belt. You're just going to put a breaker bar with a socket on it, move the tensioner out of the way, slip the belt off. When you're done, put the belt back on. The air conditioner is sitting right here behind this panel. I'm sorry I put it all back together already, but there's 4 long bolts that are pretty easy to get to. The upper facing this way, the one on the top right's a little more harder to get to, but the other 3 real easy. The air conditioner just swings down out of the way. You have really good access to get to the alternator from there. I took the top bolt out from up top, the bottom bolt out front, reached in there, pulled it right out, didn't have to struggle with it. It was a piece of cake. Now the problem I had, and the problem you might have too, is in this case, the alternator actually, I believe the rectifier burned up, and it actually burned up the connector really bad. The connector just, when I grabbed it to try and pull it out, it just crumbled into pieces. I couldn't figure out where the wires went. So what I have here is two pictures here. The top one is the actual pinouts looking at the end of the connector. So you've got the wiring harness in your hand and you're looking in the end of the connector, which would be looking this way at the end of this new pigtail here. And this shows the pinouts on the Azera. There's only 3 wires that get used. On your aftermarket connector, there's likely to be 4. You're just going to not use one of them. The picture was pretty bad, and they call the colors orange, lavender, and blue, but really it looked like brown and blue, not lavender to me. But anyway, pin 1 here. Pin 1 has nothing connected to it. Again, this is looking at the end of the connector. This one, they called it orange. I call it brown or tan. The green was pretty self-explanatory for number 3, pin 3. And the 4, they called it lavender, but it's really a really dark blue. And again, this pigtail is about 25 bucks. You can get it just about anywhere except at the Hyundai dealer, because they want to sell you a whole new wiring harness for $800. But this is about, I think it was $25 at Napa, or this particular part that I've shown the picture is from RockAuto, but I needed it quicker. I think that's about everything you're going to need to know for doing the alternator on this car. Again, sorry it's not a better video. Let me see if there was anything else up top that I can think of, but This should save you a lot of money and tell you everything you need to know to get the job done.